If you're an expert, a coach, or course creator with tons of valuable content, what if you could turn it all into an AI version of yourself? One that answers your clients' and students' questions 24/7, even while you sleep. Now I'm about to show you exactly how we did this using Circle's new AI agent feature. And this solution was so powerful that it won second place at the Wicked Smart competition at the Driven Mastermind, competing against dozens of 7- and 8-figure business owners. Here's the problem that we all face. You've created amazing content, hours of valuable training, deep expertise captured on video, but it's just sitting there, while your clients and students still flood your inbox with questions. Questions you've probably already answered somewhere in your content. And that's why we developed the MeasureU Pathfinder, an AI measurement copilot. We developed a process that turns your existing content into an intelligent AI agent that can answer student questions instantly, point them to the exact moments in your videos, provide customized support based on your expertise, and work across any course platform or video host. Let me show you exactly how we built this. Let me show you how to create the AI Measurement Copilot, which is a custom AI agent to learn measurement beyond courses. This works for any course creator on any course platform, any video host. You can make it happen with the tools we're talking about here. Our specific example is using Circle, which is great because Circle has an AI agent feature built in. So there's some extra bells and whistles that we get out of the way that we did it. This can work for any of you. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now, the problem is that we had a content bottleneck. With hundreds of lessons, our MeasureU students had trouble determining where to start learning measurement marketing. Measurement marketing is our proprietary framework that we've created at MeasureU, and it basically teaches people to do measurement first and then do your marketing, as opposed to the other way around, which is marketing and then hoping that you have some numbers. So we wanted to make sure that people who are learning this don't go elsewhere to learn about marketing measurement, which is ineffective. We wanted them to learn from us because we have the best system that's out there. Now, the problem is that our lesson descriptions looked like this. There's either no text or a single line in there, and it was literal. It didn't really tell us what was happening in the lesson. And with hundreds to thousands of lessons, we needed to fix this thing, but we didn't have the manpower or the team in order to do this thing manually. And also, we didn't see a lot of value in doing it manually. We wanted to do this with a more automated solution. Now, the solution was that we wanted to create this native AI agent. Now, this native AI agent, when you see it in action, it's pretty cool. It's interactive. It will give responses. It points people to places in our courses. But if we don't have descriptions, it can't train itself. There's no way that it can find out what's going on in specific lessons because it doesn't know what's happening there. So we wanted to use this feature, but we needed to have content to train the AI Pathfinder on. And so that was our little first step that we needed to do. So the challenge is we needed to do this fast. We wanted to debut this thing. We wanted to take advantage of the functionality. We didn't want to just have it be a half-done project. We wanted this to be done soon, right? So, and manually writing these descriptions wasn't an option. Now, I've personally poured thousands of dollars into descriptions of this nature in the past. Don't need to do this anymore because it can be done through AI. But there's 300 plus lessons. So even just training AI on that could be a multi-day affair. We didn't really want to do that. And there's no real single AI tool that could do this thing. Like you'd have to babysit ChatGPT or babysit Gemini or whatever you're using. So we needed a more creative solution. And so our Wicked Smart solution, remember this got second place at the Driven Mastermind in April of 2025. That's to create the AI automation engine. And here's the tools we used. We used Google Sheets, which was our hub, Vimeo, which is the source of content, n8n, which is our workflow engine. Make sure if you want to learn more about n8n and you want us to teach it to you, we're getting pretty deep into it. So make sure that you comment on this video and say, hey, teach us more n8n, Jeff, and we'll make sure that we do that. Assembly AI for the transcriptions, ChatGPT as our copywriter, Humans as the TBVer. That's a principle we use at Profit School and at MeasureU in our company in general, called Trust But Verify, making sure this is the right output. And Circle as our front-end agent. Now, you can swap out a lot of different things here. You don't have to have Circle to make this work. You could do this on Kajabi. You could do this on other platforms. But you'd need to have a little bit more extra work with getting that agent to work using some other type of AI agent tool. Okay, so how does it work? Part one, you need to generate your content. And the way that we do this is using a workflow in n8n. And as you can see, there's color-coded components, and there's a few things in there. So let's zoom into it to talk about what we're trying to do. The first thing is we needed a trigger. We needed something to tell n8n that something happened. And what we did was we actually had a spreadsheet with all the details, the URLs for the Vimeo link, the URL on our circle page. I couldn't really get it all in here, but it's crunched in here a little bit. But the idea here is we put everything into this spreadsheet. You can do an export and import and so on. And then when it's ready for n8n, we flip over that status, and then n8n does its work. And so first thing it does is it downloads the video from Vimeo. Okay, so it's downloading the video. We had to bump up our RAM a little bit to make sure this was being done consistently, but it downloads the video very, very quickly. We programmed delays in here to make sure that everything is working properly, that everything is doing what we need it to do. Then we transcribe it via Assembly AI. Now this is a new tool that I didn't even know about that we use in order to make this thing happen. As you can see, we download it, we give them the transcript, and then we wait 5 minutes for it to come back, and then it gives us the output. And then based on that output, we make decisions moving forward. So the first thing is that if it's good, if we like the output and it's working and doesn't fail, then we write the lesson description and key points via ChatGPT. So you can see we're using the OpenAI model. We're using 4.1 through the API, and that's even better than 4.0. So we just upgraded this thing very recently with the new API model, and it's amazing. It's better than most humans could do, and it happens really fast. So OpenAI does that. Now, remember, you can't trust this blindly. You need to make sure that you're giving it good input. So here's the exact prompt that we use to have them write this thing up. There's some jargon that we needed to say. Don't use the instructor's name. Eyes on the Journey is actually pronounced as it's written Eyes on the Journey, and then Kia is QIA for our business. And so if they are listening to it, they can get that right. Anytime that somebody gets a name wrong or anything, we can make sure that happens in here. And then you can see key points, lesson description, pretty straightforward, but this is our exact prompt. And what it does is then takes the output from ChatGPT, puts it into that spreadsheet, lets us know, does whatever we need to do into our own queries. As you can see here, it updates our ClickUp system, which is the system we use to keep track of everything. Now, if you want to see how we use ClickUp, it's the most advanced use of ClickUp ever. Make sure you let me know as well. Leave a comment saying, hey, I want to see that advanced use of ClickUp, because we are, I would say, the most power users of ClickUp in the entire world based on how we do it. And our system is freaking awesome. So I'd love to do a video on that, but I only will do it if you're interested. So let me know in the chat there as well. Next thing, part 2, we need to go to the human review. So we do have a human step in here. You might choose not to do that. You might trust ChatGPT. I think you got to trust it, but you got to verify it like we said, and that's where humans come in. So it takes that output. This is the one for the exact lesson I was telling you about that we were doing. It takes about 10 minutes, 5 minutes or 10 minutes for that to happen, to come back. It generates it in 5 minutes, and then we say it's ready for a review. That's the status. And then we say it's ready to put back into MeasureU when that is ready to happen, once we've TBV'd it. So we go ahead and do that, and that actually triggers an update here that goes into each lesson and puts that text into the lesson. And so ultimately it goes through, and through this process, we created these lesson descriptions. And as you can probably imagine, we can just go ready for n8n, and then it'll just kick it off, and we can do hundreds of these things in a day. Whereas normally it would take months or never. You just never get it done because of that. So now we have content that's no longer thin content. It is accurate as to what's going on in the lesson, tells you the whole point of the lesson in here, and it has the descriptions in place. And what this enables you to do, this is the fun part. Like that's cool to get descriptions. That saves you some time. You could also hire a VA. You don't need to do automation to make this thing happen, but saving time and having it being done at a really good, accurate level, and having it done in a way that you like, what it does is it enables you to have this agent that is trained on your content and take advantage of the features in Circle that you might already be paying for. So we created the MeasureU Pathfinder, and here's how it works. So it's a copilot, and it says, hey, can you tell me about attribution? That's an example in here, and it says, yeah, here's a bunch of stuff about attribution, and you might want to even explore the measurement strategy course in there. Now, if they give you a link to something and you're a member, you see the member link. But what if they give you a link to something and you're not a member? It says, oh, you need to actually pay for that. You don't have access to this thing. So it's telling them to go to things that are under a paywall. There's a lock screen in here and they can upgrade in order to get access to it if they want to learn that lesson. And if they go through a thing, if they use this enough and they're not seeing the answers they're looking for, they're going to want to become members because there's so much valuable content in here. So every time they interact with us, it's a chance for them to see how much value is under our full membership, which is really cool. So that's a bonus one here, is that it's a hidden upsell, even if you don't intend to, if they're not members yet and they're using the tool. But not only that, it also pulls from community. So it's not just pulling from courses, it's pulling from discussions in the Circle community that we have. So we have all these great discussions happening here, and you can see it pulled in a comment, a discussion that had 9 likes, 26 comments, and had a lot of value for the user. So it's saying, hey, this is an active community. So again, it's telling you, and if you're not a member of that community, you have to upgrade for that as well. So it's giving us the ability to save everybody from the repetition. Another bonus is that this process can do so many more things like automatic quizzes. So we've bolted onto here, we're not just creating the descriptions, we're also creating quizzes based on the lesson. So once it goes through this whole process, we're saying, hey, ChatGPT, create us some quizzes as well. And so you can save yourself a lot of time and just do all this stuff at once without having to do multiple steps over and over again. So this is really what's cool about automation, is that once you set it up once you're accessing this thing and you got a transcript, you can use that to feed other outputs, which is really cool because each one of those things is time consuming. Creating quizzes is one of the worst things that I ever have to do. And now I don't have to really try that hard to create really good quizzes that match the content of the course. So we are using automation for everything repetitive, and I think you should be doing it too. Hopefully you subscribe to this channel so you can see this, but anything that's repetitive for you, you should be doing it. And I want to give a shout out to Manisha for building this solution. She's amazing at automations and AI. And so the takeaways from this wicked smart thing is automation platforms like n8n and API tools are an exponential unlock. One of them is nice, but both of them together is awesome. You do want to use some kind of structured input like Google Sheets. It makes it easier. You can export and use that as your hub. Human oversight is recommended if you want to have reliable AI-powered outputs. And we had months of work done in days with 150 plus lessons already updated using this process. So you've just seen how powerful this solution can be when implemented correctly. And while we showed this using Circle's AI agent feature, the framework works with virtually any course platform or video hosting service. If you'd like us to build a similar solution for your content, drop a comment below saying, build it for me, and we'll explore creating a custom AI agent that leverages your existing expertise. And to stay updated on all the latest automation strategies for course creators and agencies, head on over to profitschool.com/newsletter to get our Profit School newsletter, where we share the same high-level training that 7- and 8-figure business owners pay premium prices to access. The future of online education isn't just creating more content, it's leveraging the content you already have in more intelligent ways. So let us help you build an AI version of yourself that serves your students 24/7.